come crochet with me this beautiful pop stitch bench cover. I'm using a size 9mm hook and a Bernat Softy chunky yarn, and this is taupe gray color. So let's start by making a slip knot. So take your yarn, give it a bit of a tail, wrap it around your 2 fingers, cross it in the back, then take this part and you want to tuck it in through and just kind of pull it a little bit so it gives you a space to insert your crochet hook. And just put your crochet hook in there, remove your fingers and pull both ends, and that'll give you a slip knot. Now pick up your yarn and we want to do the chain. To the chain you just yarn over and pull through. So we have to count our chain because we're doing equal numbers. So 1, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So keep going until you reach your desired, I guess, width. Or length if you want to do it that way. So for my project I did 36. Okay, so now measure. Make sure you got the right, and you want to go from the edge to the edge. You want to let go, so make sure that it fits. So I've got my perfect length, and I'm gonna carry on. Okay, so now what we want to do is want to single crochet along here. To do single crochet, first we need to turn around. To do the turnaround, you count. We never count this stitch, so we go 1, 2. So we insert into the second loop from the hook, yarn over, pull through once. You should have 2 on, yarn over, pull through 2. So whenever you're pulling through, your crochet hook should always be down, and make sure you crochet loosely. It helps. Okay, so another one. So insert into the next loop, yarn over, pull through, 2 on, yarn over, pull through both. So keep doing the single crochet stitch all the way to the end of the row. Okay, so I've come to the end, so there's one more I have to do. There, and that completes our row. Now to tighten, you just take this and just kind of tighten it, and that's how it should look like, a row of single crochet. So I did 36. I'm going to turn my work around, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 is going to count as a double crochet. So this is your repeating pattern. You're always going to chain 3, and then you look at this and you'll see this stitch here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, because we chain 3. This is occupied by our chain 3. So we never go in here. So we want to go into the next one, which is here, or you can say second one, or you can say the 5th V from the top. Okay, so now this is going to be our stitch. We're going to yarn over, insert under this V, yarn over, pull through, 3 on, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now into the same stitch we want to go again. So we're going to yarn over, go in here, we're going to yarn over, pull through, should have 4 on, now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. What's left is 3. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time. So yarn over, insert into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through. So if you count now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on. So you're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through 2. So hold always your crochet needle down, and if it's tight, loosen it with your fingers. That's what these are for. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 on. Okay, so pull, yarn over, and pull through all of them. Okay, that completes our stitch, but now we're going to yarn over and pull through 1, or you can call this chain 1. So for our next one, we're going to skip this. So we always skip the next, and we'll go into the next one. So skipping one, we do our stitch here. Okay, so use your fingers as a guide. So yarn over, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through. 3 on, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so that would we're going in here once, yarn over, we're going in here now twice, yarn over, pull through, 4 on, yarn over, pull through 2. I should be left with 3. Yarn over, same in here, same area, pull through, you should have 5 on, yarn over, pull through 2. That gives you with 4 remaining, yarn over, pull through all 4 and chain 1. Okay, so that is your stitch going all the way around. Okay, skip 1, into here we go, yarn over, in here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's once. Yarn over into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. 3 on, yarn over, insert into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining, and chain 1. Skip 1, repeat all the way to the end of the row. So I did my last cluster. You can tell I have 1 stitch left, and in here I want to put a double crochet. So to do a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert in here, always through the V's, and just help yourself with the finger if you have problems ever identifying it. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, pull through once, 3 on, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 on, yarn over, pull through both the 2. That's called a double crochet. So that completes our row. So now we're going to turn over, and for the next row on our repeating pattern is going to be a single crochet throughout here. So to do a single crochet, first we have to chain, so we always chain. So the height of a single crochet is chain 1. So we're going to chain 1, that creates our border because we want our border done nicely. So chain 1, and now look here. See, the first V is always taken up by the chain, so we go into the second one. So single crochet is what we were doing below, so we just do a single crochet, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through, insert your crochet hook, pull through both. Okay, so we did 1 before the cluster, and now you can see we're on the cluster, and our next V is right here above the cluster. So we do our single crochet. The next one is before the cluster, which is actually, if you look at it, the V is just on the edge of the cluster. So in here, do a single crochet, and then on top of the cluster, which is just directly, slightly above it, I mean right after it. So, okay, so keep doing your single crochets, 1 just here, 1 here. So it's actually just before and 1 just after, or you can just look at your V's. So before my cluster, on my cluster. So keep doing that until you get to the end of the row. Okay, so I've come to the end of the row. So this is my above the cluster. So I got 1 more to do here. And now I finished my row of single crochets, but here, do you remember our chain 3 here? Well, we have to finish this always because that is our straight edge. So in here, because this is a single crochet, we put a single crochet in the very end. So you have to get into this. I know it's tight, but you got to get in there. And you do your final 1 into that. This completes our straight edge. So we have the straight edges on both sides. Okay, so now we turn our work around. Now we chain 3. So this is going to be your repeating pattern all the way along. So you're going to do a row of clusters, then you're going to do a row of single crochets. So to the row of clusters, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet because we finish with a double crochet, right? So this will count as double crochet. This is taken up by this V, so we go into our second V. So let's do our cluster in here. and chain 1. Okay. Skip 1, do a cluster in here, skip 1, do a cluster in here. So when you get near the end, you do your last double crochet right there. So yarn over, 2 and 2. There we are. Okay, turn your work over. Okay, measure to make sure that it fits. So you want to make sure you about leave this much space, because when this stretches you want it tight. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to do a single crochet all the way around the project. Well, this part, you always want to finish with a single crochet row. It just kind of makes it easier. So now this top part is done because that's what's part of our stitch. So now we have to go along the side, bottom, and up the other side to finish. So let's reinsert our crochet hook, and a way to turn it, we just simply turn your work sideways. But now if you look at this, you'll see that it's very, very nasty here and rough. You don't have clear guidelines. So what you want to do is, you know that this one is 1 crochet, 1 stitch high, and this is a double crochet stitch, which is our cluster height. So this will be 2. And again, this is a single 1 and then 2. So this is the amount of single crochets you have to put in. So we're just going to go now, because we've turned and this was our single crochet one. So we're going to go in here into the same space, okay, and do our single crochet. Okay, that turns us around. Now this is our cluster area. And if you look at this 2 chain, this is where we chained up. We did our double crochet at the end. So we'll put it into the first one here and do 1 single crochet, and then into the next space our second double crochet. Now we have our single crochet line, so we look for our V. Oh, look, I found a V here. And if you can't get to the V, a single one is fine. A single loop is what I meant. This here, it's a double crochet height, and again the chain is 2. So we'll go in here and in here. Another one, try to go over 2 if you can. If not, 1 is fine. Okay, again, this is a row of single. I'll find my V here. There it is. So this is what you do all the way till we get to the bottom. Last stitch. And now I'm going to turn my work around this way. Okay. So here you can see this is where we did our chain, and it's messy. It's hard to see the V's because they kind of are not really there. So first thing what we want to do is put another stitch right in the same space where we did our, so I'm going to go right in here to make a nice beautiful little corner for us. And sometimes if it slips off, that's okay, just correct it. So there's our corner. So now we're going to go in here. So if you look at this, you'll see stitch, space, stitch, space, stitch, space. You want to go in between spaces, so it's a lot easier to see. There's my stitch and there's the space. I'm just going to go here and do my single crochet. Next space, there's my stitch, there's the space right under there. That just makes it easy. You don't have to look, because sometimes it's really hard to see the V's. At some point you're gonna run out of yarn like I did here. So now I need to join new yarn. I have a new yarn here ready to go, and I have to find the end. So here is my new end. Okay, so now the way to do this, I'm gonna take my old yarn. I'm gonna carry on like I've been doing, let's say on my thing. So I'm gonna insert my crochet hook, but instead of yarning over, I'm going to take the new one, pinch off an eye like this with a bit of a tail, hook it on and pull it through. So now I have 2 on, and now I have the new yarn, the tail of the new yarn, the tail of the old yarn, which you can see here. So I am going to take both of these ends and the new yarn, and I'm gonna yarn over the whole coot and caboodle, all 3. And I'm gonna pull through these there, and that secures it. So now all I have to do is pick up my new yarn, which is here. Okay, hold my two tail ends over my work like this and carry on like I would before, but pretend that they don't exist. So my next stitch would be here, so I'm going to go here, in here, but putting this on top of my work. So I'm working with them on top. Okay, so that kind of weaves them in. Yarn over and pull through, do my single crochet. Okay, so now I'm back on track. That's simple. So now we go into the next space. Remember how both of these tails are sitting on top. I'm just weaving them in as I'm crocheting. So this is kind of a nice little trick. So I'm just going to kind of turn my work around. And I've come to the next corner. And of course we're going to do the same single crochet into the same stitch and our turnaround. Okay, and now we're going to carry on along this side like we did on the other side. So I've come all the way around. I just have one last stitch to do right there in the corner. There, and now we're done. So now for our next thing, because notice how beautiful border we have, and we have our puffs on the outside. So now what we want to do is we want to work on the inside of this. So make sure the puffs are outside and just turn your work around or inside out. There we go. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go all the way around, but working on the inside only. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to work on the little edge that's going to take us around for our fitted part. Okay, so let's start by chaining 2. So that's 1, 2, and we're going to work, if you look at the V's, on the inside of the V's only. So we'll do a double crochet. So yarn over, we go only on the inside. So we go in through here, and make sure you hook only the inside of the V. That's all, not both, which is what we would normally do. Okay, so just, there we go, just the inside of the V. That's all. So you want to do this all the way around. Okay, just hooking on the inside of the V. So if you look at it this way, I'm going underneath and putting my crochet in between. So that's where you want to hook that. And you can see right away that it's forming a beautiful little edge that's curling inside, because we want the puffy stuff on the outside. See, it's already starting to curl. Okay, so I've come to the corner. So to do the corner, to turn our corner, what we have to do is we have to pick up the stitch here. So to do that, we're going to yarn over, we're going to insert like we did before, always on the inside, yarn over, pull through. We're going to do half a crochet, so we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. That leaves us 2 on the loop. Okay, so now we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, which is just here. Go through there. We're going to yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so now we have 3 left, and we're just going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that kind of turned us around, and now we can turn our corner. And we just carry on like we did before. Okay, so now this is where we chained up to, where we started our double crochet, and now here we slip stitch to join. So if you count this 1, 2 at the very top, your very top V, this is where we want to go. So forget about the chain we did here, but on top of the first stitch is our first little V. So you want to just insert your crochet hook in there, yarn over and pull through both. And that is slip stitch to join. Okay, so now what we want to do, we simply want to double crochet under our V's all the way around. Okay, so to do that, we're always to start off with chain 2. So 1, 2. Okay, and again, if you lift up, you'll see this one is taken by this. So we do a double crochet always in the second, which is right there. Okay, so in here, we do a double crochet. Okay, and now simply double crochet under every V. So this time you're going over both, all the way around till you get to the end. I've come to the end and I'm just slip stitching to join on top of the first stitch. So for this final row, I want a nice tucked in corner. So I'm going to chain 2, and then we're going to repeat what we started with row 1, which is we're only hooking the inside loop for that nice curled in. So it's going to tuck in beautifully. So you want to do that, but when you get to the corners, we want the extra tuck. And I'll show you how to do the extra tuck once you get to the corner. And that creates a beautiful look. So yarn over, and you would do like you do normal crochet. Okay, you go through 2, but you don't finish it, right? Now you go to the next one, and you go through 2, but you don't finish it. Go through the next one, and you go through 2. So now you have 3, see 1, 2, 3 on, and that gives you 4 loops, and now we're going to yarn over and pull through all of them like that. And that gives us our next, then we go into our next space right here, right? And then you carry on. So let's do our double crochet there. Okay, so I've come to the very end, and because this is where I'm slip stitching to join, this will be my 3rd one. So I'm just simply going to do my first pickup, my second pickup, and my second pickup. Okay, and now my final one, I'm gonna yarn over, and on top of the stitch here is where I want to slip stitch to join. And this time I'm gonna go over both because I'm slip stitching to join, and yarn over and pull through all of them. 2, 4 left. I'm going to pull through all and chain 1, and this is going to be our finish. I'll cut the yarn, yarn over and pull through, and that completes our project. So now all we have to do is weave in this end. So if you have a big crochet needle, you can use that, or you can just use your crochet hook. And here's one on the other side. And I should mention that if you have a smaller size crochet hook, weaving it makes it so much easier to do. And the easiest thing to weave in is if you weave in through there. The way I do it is I just take it through this, and then I come around just under the chain, just under my V's is where I like to do this. Use your finger to help yourself, just back and forth a few times. Secure this really tight. I want to take it down here. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of play with it. So, hook it on, and I'll pull it tight. Okay, take it through here, and then I'll pull it a little bit, and I'll snip, and it should just kind of disappear. And we are done.